Hello, you've tuned in to the Bristol Town Administrators Table. I'm Steve Contente, Bristol Town Administrator. Today is Thursday, December 19th, 2019. Today we have two segments to the show. We have Fire Chief Michael DeMello, and later on today you'll get two very dedicated volunteers with the town of Bristol that help us celebrate the spirit of Christmas. That's a surprise. Chief, welcome to the Administrators Table.
Well, thank you for having me. Always great to talk about our fire department.
It certainly is. Chief, you've joined the fire department several decades ago. What year was that?
So I first joined back in 1994. I have about, it's going to be close to 28 years now in the fire service. 20 years of it I did as a career firefighter and retired, and then the opportunity to become chief here in Bristol came up in 2016, and I was lucky and humbled to be able to be chosen for that position.
Great, you're doing a great job, Chief.
Well, thank you.
It's so you're a full-time chief, but we all know that your job is a little bit more than full-time, isn't it?
Sure. Being a firefighter, and especially volunteer firefighters, we kind of live and breathe it 24/7 all throughout the year. We have a great group of men and women that do the same, and it makes my job a lot easier.
Right. What I'd like to do is go over, for the benefit of the public, how the department is organized. So you have Division of Emergency Management Services, which is the rescue, and there's also 4 independent fire companies. Those are what I like to say neighborhood fire companies with either engines or a ladder truck.
Sure.
So there are 4 of them. You want to tell us where the 4 stations
Sure.
are?
We'll start. We'll go a real quick history lesson. So the organized firefighting operations really began around 1800 in the town of Bristol. They started with some stations that were strategically placed in the Thames Street area. It evolved in 1836 with the Hydraulian Fire Company, and that was really the first fire company formation, and then it kind of snowballed from there. We have the Dreadnought Fire Company, the Defiance Fire Company, it was the King Philip, and now the Ever-Ready Fire Company. And it's just continued to evolve throughout time to the all hazards department that we have today, including emergency medical response, some emergency management stuff, and pretty much anything that you throw our way, we'll figure out how to handle it.
Okay, so that if there's a member of the community that's wishing to serve, there's quite a few different things that they could do to help. Not everyone needs to go into a burning building.
Correct.
So what they would do is, it's typically your companies, which are the Ever-Ready Station on Thames Street, the Defiance Station on Hope Street near Gooding Avenue. There's the Hydes, which is up near your headquarters on Anawamsket, and then the Dreadnoughts, which is on High Street at Church. The first Wednesday of every month, right? Is there a company meeting?
Yes. So the first Wednesday of every month, around 8 o'clock, each company has their monthly meetings. So anybody interested could certainly stop in at that time, talk to some of the members, get a feel for what's going on, and get involved. We've also added a few things to kind of get some more involvement from the community. We've added a junior firefighter program. We've been working with the high school a little bit for kids 15 to 18 to kind of get exposed to it in a mentoring type way, get exposed to firefighting, a little bit to EMS. We also have the Ladies Auxiliary, which does a lot of different things for the department, kind of social aspects. And really, as you said, you don't have to necessarily run into a burning building. There's so many support things that happen at events and throughout the year that we can find a place for you if you're willing to give us some time.
Great. A member wouldn't just join and automatically be a firefighter. There's a process.
Sure. So we offer all kinds of training. Firefighting training, we have an in-house program that we start you off with. You move on to actually the Rhode Island State Fire Academy program if your continued interest as you move on.
The probationary firefighter would actually go to the Rhode Island Fire Academy?
Correct. So we start them with an in-house preparatory class, and then every September we run through the state academy, the state class. So people successful with that, they come out with their firefighter 1 and 2 certification, hazardous materials. We've recently began running an emergency medical responder class, which is around 40 hours as an entry-level program into emergency medical operations. So we've got a lot of moving parts and a lot of opportunity for people to get educated and use in their, not only for the fire department, but in their daily lives.
Right. So first Wednesday of any month, 8 p.m. at one of the local neighborhood fire stations. That would be the place for somebody interested in serving. And it could be an opportunity to develop somebody's resume. You do get a certificate from the Rhode Island Fire Academy upon completion of the program.
Yeah, we offer a lot of trainings in addition to that, where you get certifications and validated competency in different things. You can certainly call our office, 253-6912, with any questions. We have an online application process on the town website underneath the fire department, so you can submit your application that way as well. So we're always looking for people that are interested in helping the community, and being a member of the fire department is a great way to do that.
Yeah, it is, and I give a lot of credit to our professional and volunteer firefighters, worldwide. It's, you don't realize when everyone is running out of a building, they're running into it, and it takes a great deal of bravery and dedication and devotion to community. So I certainly appreciate your work and the work of all of your members. The interesting thing is you're very, obviously very involved with the department. You have family also involved.
Sure. So I was really the first one in my family to go into the fire service, in immediate family anyways. And as my kids grew up and got older, they both started in the junior program. One now has graduated, so he's in a regular membership level. He'll be going to the National Guard, so we'll lose him for a few months, but hopefully when he comes back, he'll continue where he left off. And my wife participates with the Ladies Auxiliary as well.
Michelle, right.
Yes.
And I don't think you planned to do this, but you live in an old fire station, right? Did
Right.
you know that when you bought the house?
When you move into Bristol, one of the attractive things is who doesn't want to live on the parade route. All right. So that was a great thing. And then, by the way, it happens to be an old fire station too. So the house, it's certainly been renovated since then, but it was the original Hydraulian Engine and Hose Company fire station that was originally located at Hope Street and Franklin Street back in the 1800s.
It's very ironic, isn't it? That's nice.
It is.
So a member joins the fire department, then there's monthly training, right? You guys train in many different areas, and what I appreciated this past summer was how your training came in handy with the hydro draft system.
Yes, so we had a fire out on the Papasquash Peninsula. As most people know, there's no municipal water there. So when we go there, we have some cisterns underground. We have some different ponds and stuff that we have to draft water out of. Right. That particular fire back in July was a very hot day. It was a little bit of a long hose lay, but we were able to actually draft out of the bay. That was the kind of the closest area to do that. And that's something that we train on pretty regularly. To do that, and the members did a heck of a job, again, being a hot day, getting up there and getting in there and getting that fire under control. That's
great. No, the old days used to call it a general alarm, so that was pretty much all 4 engines, and your ladder truck responded.
Right. So essentially that's what it was for us. All our equipment's going to work, and then we certainly use mutual aid. That's become much more prevalent nowadays, where you lean on your neighbors to backfill your stations in case another call responds, or you just need to supplement your manpower. Very cold, very hot. People get tired, and so you need to rotate the crews in and out.
That's where all hands on deck comes in handy. So you may not be scotting up, which is the air pack and going into a building, but there's also drivers, there's support personnel, there's your firefighters need to be hydrated. There's plenty to do at a fire scene.
Plenty to do, from running the pump, from moving some hose lines, from setting up, getting salvage covers out to help minimize the damage. You can go on and on.
Directing traffic.
On and on, which our fire police do great. Another spin-off of the fire department is our constables that help assist with traffic and scene management, really, as it goes on.
Yeah. So you have 4 frontline fire engines, right? And typically, how many years, Chief, do you get out of an engine?
Useful years somewhere in the 25 to 30 range. And that's what we try to target. It's a little more difficult nowadays because the technology, as great as it is, the computers on the vehicles are a little bit of a challenge. But for the most part, we do that. Our newest truck is a 2018 Smeel, built by Smeel Fire Apparatus on a Spartan cabin chassis.
That's very proud of that engine.
I am. It's worked out well so far.
I'm a little partial. I'm a member of the company. So.
That's right. And I think the truck came out great. The members like it. They've been training on it so that they're up to speed with the new technology.
Chief, I liked your philosophy when you spec'd out the truck, and you were about getting the basics, durable basics, and as you mentioned, computers are great. but for a piece of equipment that goes out, how often? A couple times a week?
Yeah, I mean, as a total call volume, we're up over 4,000 calls a year in the department. Each company's at least doing a few hundred a year, the fire companies, most of it EMS.
So we try not to get bogged down in the maintenance of computer software. And,
absolutely.
Yep, so it's a great truck made here in the United States.
Absolutely, and it's out to Nebraska. It's a great town that it was built in, and pretty much the whole town works for the company.
Yeah, that's great. 30 years, the trucks, you've been getting up to 30 years of service out of them. When you look at them, Chief, they look great. They look a couple of years old.
And that I have to give the nod to the membership. I mean, the men and women, they take a lot of pride in their equipment, in their stations, and they like to have everything upkept. And there's no shortage of waxing or washing the trucks that goes on.
When I joined the department, it was the last year riding on the back step. That was quite a thrill.
Yep.
But now, the world has really changed. At one time, you could just jump on, you grab the helmet, grab the boots off the truck. But things have really changed.
And it has.
One of the dangers of firefighting now is the chemicals that there's so much is made out of plastics and synthetics and out of petroleum products. The old days, I don't think there was as much of a concern. And you're the expert here, but fires burn much quicker now.
Yeah, so this is the good time to mention that if you're out there and you got to make sure you have working smoke detectors in your home and carbon monoxide detectors because of a lot of the technological advantages. And 40 years ago you maybe had about 20 minutes to get out of a house if it caught on fire. Today you're lucky if you got 4 or 5 minutes, and that's because a lot is made out of plastic. As great as it is, when it burns, it's very toxic and burns very quickly and very hot. So a lot of those changes necessitated, safety items to come up for the fire department, and so our gear, our respirators, all of that plays into that role now.
Please, those of you at home, if you have young children, work out an evacuation plan and make sure that your smoke detectors are, the batteries are good and your fire extinguishers are operable, and again, you have a good rally point for the family. It's so important. Well, Chief, it was great having you on the show today.
Pleasure to be here.
Keep up the good work. The department's doing well, and we appreciate all the service, again, that your men and women provide. If there's anything the town administration can do, as you know, we're downtown. We'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, but you've been a great partner with us, and we're able to keep the ball rolling in the right direction, and we have a great department, and we're going to keep it that way.
All right. Great, Chief. Nice seeing you here.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more on the administrators table. Welcome back to the Bristol Administrators Table. I'm Steve Contente, Bristol Town Administrator. Do I have a surprise for you? The Spirit of Christmas Award recipient, Mike Hoffman, is here with us, and also the chairman of the Christmas Committee, Festival Committee, Mike Riley. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Nice having you here around the holidays, and thank you for spreading the spirit of Christmas.
Great to be here.
So I noticed you have your medallion on, Mike.
Yep.
So that was given to you where?
I received it at the Christmas ball that was at Linden Place.
That's right.
Yeah.
You look different. I was at the ball. You look different today.
Yeah, I left my.
You have costumes then.
Yes.
When you're bestowed this honor, you have to change your wardrobe.
Yes, I had on my Dickens attire, top hat, cane, and my coat and stuff. So not that easy to put on for today.
It was cool. We parked on Bradford Street, and the ball was at Linden Place. And when I looked at the front of the building, the committee members were dressed in period
Attire.
regalia.
Yep. Attire.
And I'll be honest, we could have gone back 200 years ago. It was quite a sight. It was beautiful. Everybody looked great. It was a nice time in the ballroom. I'm sure Mr. Colt would have been happy to see the building being used and preserved for the community. So, Mike Riley, so you're the chairman,
I am.
and this is a year-long.
Yeah, we start planning all the events. Believe it or not, people never think about Christmas until probably Thanksgiving, but we start planning all the events for the Christmas festival starting and around February. So in January, We just finished up our last event, which was story time, Christmas story time. And in January, at our next meeting, we will have a postmortem meeting, and then February we start planning the entire year. And people think that maybe the Christmas festival is just the tree lighting, but there's a lot of other events that go on during the year.
Yeah, you're certainly busy. I have today's Bristol Phoenix and Santa Claus. He made quite a few appearances here in Bristol.
He was around town a lot this year. He was very busy.
Yeah. So that crest on your jacket, on your lapel, what is that?
The crest is the Santa Claus Oath crest. It's 8 principles that are made up that Mrs. Clauses and Santa Clauses try to live by, Santa Claus helpers and Mrs. Claus helpers.
You put a lot of heart and soul into what you do, and I give you a lot of credit. You're a volunteer.
Yes.
You work with all volunteers.
Yep. So I joined the committee in 2010. I've been the chairman for the past 2 years, and it's an all-volunteer committee. And like I said, no one really thinks about Christmas until the end of the year.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of planning that goes on, and we have about 25. I think it's about 25 volunteers right now. Mike is one of them.
Yeah.
One of the best things in my job, though, is to pick the Spirit of Christmas recipient, and Mike was our recipient this year.
Mike is so well known throughout town. Well, I can tell you, Mike and I go back. We graduated Bristol High School together, and I think we were probably the only 2 on the Bristol Fire Department back then, as seniors in high school.
Yep.
And so you started your volunteer spirit way back then, Mike, and you're still out there. This summer I saw you directing traffic during 4th of July, and you do so much at Mount Hope Farm. Why do you do it, Mike?
Just I love the town we live in, and I'm lucky to live in it, and I enjoy helping people.
Yeah.
You know, Mount Hope Farm is very dear to me. I love it there. It's a beautiful place. You know, we just finished up the Ladies Auxiliary with the fire department. They did their annual drive. They helped
Toy drive.
toy and coats
Yeah.
and clothing. They helped just a little over 100 families. They had their distribution in the greenhouse at Mount Hope Farm, and we helped a lot of people have a great Christmas that normally wouldn't be able to have a good Christmas.
You won't see it directly, but I'm sure your heart will be smiling on Christmas Day, knowing that those kids will be happy.
Absolutely.
And I know you work really well with Jen Mansiri,
Yep.
right? And Mike, also, you have some very big helpers with your committee. I know Patty and Nat Squartrito, they were very instrumental on the grand illumination. They met with my department heads frequently to make sure that went off without a hitch. And there's a lot behind the scenes. And again, that's why it's so important that we thank our volunteers whenever we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the events that we run, we have a subcommittee chair or co-chairs for the events. As you mentioned, the grand illumination, which is the tree lighting, and the events that lead up to the tree lighting that night. The chairman, co-chairs were Nat and Patty Squartrito. But there are other events that we put on as well. The Breakfast with Santa has been an annual event since the very beginning in 1987. Our committee chair this year was Tanya Kieran. And we have other events, as I mentioned. We have the Story Time with Santa. And that was our committee chair for that was Jen Mansiri, who, again, you hear these names over and over again. And these folks are always volunteering. And that's, as Mike said, I think one of the reasons why we volunteer so much is because of our love of the town.
Right.
You know, I have a great job in this town. I get to be the chairman of the Christmas Festival Committee, but I also get to lead the 4th of July parade, which is kind of like Bristol's other Christmas, right? There are 2 major events in Bristol, and that's 4th of July and Christmas. And I'm very happy and very proud to be able to be a part of that on both of those events.
Well, both those events are a huge part of what makes Bristol so special.
Absolutely.
You know, we certainly love our town. I brought something with me. I'm going to surprise you with this. I was able to get a few pictures from, they're dated 1976, Christmas, 1976. But This was Santa Claus with my family.
I think I recognize this person. This is my grandfather. So my grandfather was a Santa helper for 62 years. He's in the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. And he's one of the inaugural inductees into the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. As a Santa helper, he never took any money for any appearances that he ever made. I have letters from Pope John Paul II. I have a letter from Eleanor Roosevelt. I have letters from presidents, all praising him for his work as a Santa helper and all the things that he did for Rhode Island and Southern New England.
He did a lot for the needy children in the state and spread that spirit of Christmas. That's why I think it's remarkable that you're continuing, and I'm sure he'd be very proud of you, Mike.
So in his honor, I have started the foundation, the James D. Riley Foundation, and we continue his work.
Nice.
Part of the foundation is to keep his name and his legacy alive, but also to help those folks that he was helping. So this is a cute little kid right there.
I like the clothes. I like the clothes and the
style of clothing back then.
I like to say the encyclopedia set in the back. That was the internet.
That was
back
our
then.
internet back then.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, it's pretty cool, and it certainly had an impact on our lives. And I know you're still doing that today. You can just see it again in the Phoenix today. There are a lot of happy kids when they see Santa. So, what are you guys doing for Christmas, Mike? You gonna have dinner?
Yep.
Yep.
Dinner, and then I fly out with my son on the day after. So we're gonna go down and see my parents. Live down in Florida, so we'll be there the day after Christmas. But Christmas dinner, and then some sunshine.
That's it. Nice.
Lucky you.
And you'll be a busy guy.
I am busy right up until.
You don't have to elaborate. You don't have to
Christmas.
elaborate
I
what
won't.
you're doing.
I'll be busy right up till Christmas Eve. I'm so busy this time of year that I'll celebrate Christmas with my brothers and their families after Christmas. So we pick the weekend after, just because I'm so busy at this time of year. But it's the best. To be together with your family. It doesn't matter whether it's on Christmas Day or a week later, as long as you're with friends and family, that's all that matters.
Right. So, the Spirit of Christmas Award, is it almost like Miss 4th of July, where you go to appearances throughout the year? So we'll be seeing you.
Yep, we had the downtown walkabout. We had the lighting, the Christmas ball, and I'll be going with Mike for a few appearances. We have some stuff to deliver to some people that are in need of cheer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a little busy weekend ahead.
So just to expand on that, the Spirit of Christmas Award the official name is the Dottie Cadero Spirit of Christmas Award. Dottie Cadero and Halsey Herreshoff were the folks that started the Christmas Festival, and the award is named after Dottie. And she has been awarded I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
She's been awarded the award.
Yeah, it started as a Dickens Christmas.
Yes,
right?
and
with
that was
caroling.
Yep.
And it's kind
And we
of
try to
evolved.
continue that tradition. The ball, this year's ball was a Dickinson's style. Everyone got to dress up. Mike thought he was going to win the award, but he didn't win the award. Someone actually was more in the spirit of Mike. I think it's because you forgot
Who was it?
It was Maria Degatti and I call it Degatti.
Tommy
Prezioso.
Tommy
That's what I sat at
Prezioso
my
and
table.
Tommy
Maria
Prezioso,
Prezioso.
Yeah, they're nice people.
That's how old I am. I call it Degatti. I think it was because you forgot your
My
monocle,
monocle.
though. That's what it was.
I forgot my monocle at home. That was the problem.
Yeah, it was a good time. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for spreading the cheer of Christmas and happy holidays, and also happy Hanukkah and all the other holidays, and anything that spreads goodwill and happiness is something that we want to promote, and that's why
Absolutely.
I thought it was important to have both of you here. That was my big surprise for this episode. Anyone with guts to drive to the Portsmouth studio with those blazers on, I give you a lot of credit.
You should get credit just for that.
Will you walk down Hope Street with me next?
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Maybe we'll go have lunch today.
Absolutely.
All right.
Merry
Right.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Bristol Administrators Table. I'm Steve Contente. To all of you at home, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, peace to you, and peace to all on earth. Thank you.